beautiful locomotive. And the storyteller. The staff is telling story.
Very lovely.
Steam engine uses steam to push the pistons to make the engine roll, to make the steam. This was the driver. So, these are all the controls that the driver had. Now this big lever here, this is on a car you would call it the accelerator.
Right.
So, as the driver pulled on that, the more he pulled on it, that would let more steam into these big pistons at the front of the engine to, because the piston was a huge big round cylinder.
Yes.
With a piston in, and the steam would push this piston backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. There'd be a big metal rod on the side connected to one of the wheels, and as that went round like that, that would turn the wheel.
Right.
I've got a Lego train.
All right. Yeah.
How long it took to train a driver, train driver? How long it takes?
Well,
Do you remember? Do you know?
most of your engine drivers were 50,
Yes.
going on to 60. But so life started. If you joined the railways as a cleaner, who would work in the workshops, make sure all the ash from the previous day's fire was cleaned out, and then they would have the job of lighting the fire to get it going, because it would take, before they could even move the engine, it would take nearly 4 hours to boil the water,
Oh,
so
yeah,
that
it would
there was
have,
enough steam to go. So then their job, they would progress to become one of the firemen, which was sort of the young, strong young men. Because, usually a ton of coal an hour in there.
And then when you got older, you got to sit
But
down.
then he would be partnered with one of the drivers.
Yeah.
So he would spend an awful lot of his time learning from the driver how you control everything, and what drivers job. So eventually, when the driver retired, firemen would get promoted to a job.
Do you know how? Sorry for interrupting. How many of them was built? Do you know how many of they?
These engines,
Yeah,
these
approx.
were very good engines. There was 842.
840.
Yeah.
That's plenty. They've been exported somewhere to America, or they've been used only in England.
I think these were all used mostly in England, but the LNS, they built these engines. But during the wartime, they built slightly more powerful goods engines.
Yes.
Because these could pull goods trains,
Yes.
passenger trains.
Of course, yes.
But, so these have 6 driving wheels to get them going. But goods trains, where you were talking about nearly 1,000 tons of goods. They
Incredible. Amazing.
used to have some 8 driving wheels.
Right.
So they were the ones that did get, during the war, exported over to Europe, to various allied countries. Yes, not with the aim. So where were we? This was the accelerator.
Accelerator,
To make
yes.
the train go faster. Now on a car you would have a gearbox, a bit like on a bike as well, where the bike has the big, smaller cogwheels. But on a car, you have the cogs in the gearbox. This is the gear lever. It works slightly differently, but when you wound it all the way in one direction, what it did was wind a metal rod that goes on the side of the train towards the pistons at the front. And So when you start off the car, you want it to be in first gear to use the maximum power to get the thing moving. So when this was wound all the way in one direction, you would see that go forward, right to the front. That would be first gear. And as you got the train moving, you didn't need quite as much steam
Of course, yes.
to keep it going. So what you would do, you would wind that back, so it wasn't changing cogwheel gears. It was just shortening the distance that the steam inlet valve moved. So it was letting just that little bit less steam in each time. So you wound it back through all the equivalent of the gears. If you wound it all the way in the opposite direction, then you were in reverse gear then.
Interesting.
Right, so accelerator, gearbox, brakes were the next thing. So the engine itself had its own brakes,
Yes.
but it was also connected to a long train of 600, 800 tons of either carriages or goods wagons as well. So what they had, the engine had steam operated brakes, what they had were vacuum operated brakes. So the way that worked was that all the carriages were connected together by rubber connection pipes, and each carriage where the wheels are, the brake shoes would be clamped tight against it. But what you would then, in the same way that these two were called steam injectors to suck the water and inject it into the boiler, these two were steam ejectors, which use the steam power again to pump the air out of all these pipes in the train to create a vacuum, so that would pull the brake shoes off the wheels. But then when you needed to stop the train, slow down or stop, that's when you would use this lever. What that would do would let air in through these little holes. And of course the air getting into the vacuum would ruin the vacuum, so the brakes slowly came and clamped back on again. And then when you needed to start moving again, you'd give it a quick blast on this to recreate the vacuum, and that would get the train moving. One more little lever is this one here. At this time of year, with the ice on the road, they have gritters out on the roads, shredding grit and salt just to stop cars looking skidding. Because steam engines, well, and modern days, some more modern diesel engines as well. But yes, it's metal wheels on a metal track. So apart from the 70 tons of engine giving it a fair weighted grip, if it was too icy, too wet, or the dreaded soggy wet leaves on the line, the wheels would just spin and get nowhere.
Yes.
So what they would do would be run salt and spray sand
Sand, yes.
onto the track. So if that's on the side of the engine, you'll see that there is a sandbox and a big pipe that comes down to just where the three big driving wheels touch the track, and it would drop sand down onto the track. What this would do, again, everything used steam. So there's another little pipe goes down and it sprays steam down, which sprays the sand just underneath the wheels to give them that little bit of grip. And once the train was moved, and then shut it off, then you didn't need to do it all at all. So that's about it.
It's an amazing story.
Apart from these big red handles, the trains had a whistle. So when
Yes, I was wondering.
that was steam powered as well. So when you pull these, toot toot, toot toot, that would be the whistle. Yeah.